Hey nerds, and welcome to the gutter, the nice, crisp, and clean gutter. I am your main character. My name is Steve-O. This is the 13th episode, ooh, bad luck, of season 2 of the Gutter Nerds podcast.
Yeah.
Let's leave.
Our guest today at the end of the couch, the music track to our video game is Raven 1, my brother Daniel.
See, I used to be a musician. That's what he did there.
Here on the right is the snarky dialogue to our game,
All right. Fair enough.
Racy Rogue
Hi guys.
on Twitch.
That one? Ooh, yeah, I do like the difference.
To my left is our producer and overlord of the game, the director
No.
of the game.
Yeah, that was
So
terrible.
Sarah.
That was really bad.
That was real
Well,
bad.
my initial thing was love interest because you're my girlfriend, but I was like, I don't want to typecast you as just that, and so then I tried to
He was
reset to
thinking
something
to
else.
better
is
your
what he
intro
went to.
other than you're just his girlfriend.
I
tried to get
appreciate
it.
that.
Yeah, I tried to.
I appreciate the
Yeah.
But you just
explanation.
made it
as
seem
well.
like you didn't even know what to say about me.
Well,
the fact that he sees you as the overlord.
Hey, I'm cool with an overlord.
that's what it is.
So
Good
technically,
cam says
she
comment. Good.
runs the relationship is what I got out of
I
that.
run the show.
I
So-
tag along. I tag along for the ride.
Really what it is I'm the organizer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're equal.
God help you if
She's-
she's not here a weekend because you
I
don't
can't
know what
say
to
she's
do with
the
your
user
sock
interface
drawer.
because that's sort of bad too.
And
So-
what?
I'm trying to
I
think.
only heard half what you said, and all I heard was
The
user,
user
and I was
interface.
like, oh.
No, it's gonna work. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone in chat. So Trexus already says that Sam has an answer. Visible armor upgrades and character customization is the most important thing to him in a game. Today we're going to be talking about what's most important to us in a game, what's least important to us, what will we sacrifice for other things, stuff like that. It's going to be mostly conversational, and we're just going to take it real nice and chill, because that's easier for me. So, we're going to start with what you've been playing, and Sarah,
Hold on. We need to focus on this for a
Hold
second.
on,
Yeah?
let's rewind a minute here.
to what?
What's easier?
You've never said out loud, well, it makes it easier on me. And so I'm just curious, why
What was it
today?
I
easier?
hope someone
Why
put
today
that-
do you need
Because
it
he didn't have enough time to
easier?
prep.
Yes, it's a prep time thing, and so if I
So you're
haven't
slacking
written
on
down,
the job, is what I'm
Yes.
hearing.
well, I had to put in the new camera. is the
We
thing.
really do need a mirror because they need to see how tiny
That's the
this
thing.
mother
Well, yeah.
is.
And,
Here,
and
scoot
we
next to
all
me a little
know
bit,
that
Nerdist.
it takes
Why?
weeks to
give him a little
plug
bit
in
more
the
in frame.
USB port.
Make sure it gets downloaded.
Look at how sharp that is. I'm so stoked.
They
Here,
really
you can
do
hit
need
with
to
that.
see how small this camera is because, yes,
fair.
setting it up should take you a minute, but it's tiny, Steven.
Oh, it's the same. I mean, it's literally the same setup as every other
I
webcam.
know.
It's just a different thing. So I'm gonna give you guys real quick. Well, actually, before what you've been playing, I'm gonna explain what's up here. So we have a new webcam. The normal webcams that we use and what I use to stream. This webcam here.
Yeah, that
This
looks
is
awful now.
the Logitech C920.
It's right in the middle of the TV.
This one here is a Logitech C920.
know.
And this one here is a Logitech C930E. And this is more of like a conference style camera, but it actually ended up being almost the same price. This one was like $73 on Amazon. It's normally $129 from Logitech's website. And so the Logitech C920 I think is normally $60, $65.
So it's,
So
it's
it was
an
about-
upgrade, but
yeah.
it's not too much of a difference.
Yeah, it
in
was
price.
great. And so I need to shout out it may have been, who the fuck was it? Crap. I think it was Master Charles' stream, I think, where they were talking about webcams, and Chagrins, I think, mentioned the Logitech C930E having a wider angle. And I was like, that's what we've been needing, because these are not wide angle cameras, the C920s. So even if I put it back far away to capture everything, it's
Yeah.
out of focus.
Yeah.
So that was the problem we were running into.
That's awesome.
It seems to be fixed. Happy?
Yes, happy.
Happy? You can see.
Someone in there said good cam. Comment.
Good cam. Con man to good cam. Okay, now, what you been playing, Sarah?
I have been playing PUBG
Yeah.
and The Sims.
And you did real well in PUBG the other day.
I did. I got second. I was very upset
thanks.
because I did not win because my freaking gun. I had never used that type of gun before, and it like what's the right word?
The recoil.
The recoil.
So she actually, she actually got this is the new cam mark. This one here, the everyone cam.
Mix it.
She had gotten to one-on-one in solos on Miramar, and she got the drop on him, and she laid into the trigger, and so the first shots hit him and then pulled
right
up,
in the chest.
and then but she got
Had
another
I
6 or
shot
7
him
shots above his head.
One more time,
Yeah.
I would have been first place solo, and I'm so mad about it still. But okay,
Yeah,
so
you
I've
did
been
fantastic.
playing PUBG. I've been playing The Sims because I'm obsessed with The Sims. And I've been playing Mickey Paint.
Oh, Epic Mickey 2. We
That's
started
the
playing.
one. You like run around with a paintbrush. That's a good one.
And
I've been playing Battlefront 2.
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
And I'm super obsessed with it. I think it's like getting unhealthy.
It's
like
like people really railed into that game because EA tried to do a loot box thing with it where you didn't ever have to buy additional DLC, but you had
But
to
you wanted to be
grind
good.
for the loot boxes to unlock
had to.
characters and stuff like that. I think most of the changes were cosmetic, like additional characters and things to wear and stuff like that, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was other weapons that you could also pay to get
Yes.
with money if you wanted to, or grind out for free. Anyway, if you pull that aside and look at it as a game, it's a really good game. And so far the Star Wars story is good.
yes.
You play an Imperial, basically like an Imperial SWAT team captain at the end of Return of the Jedi, and it's like
okay.
the Imperial post Imperial like what do we do kind of thing, and it's good.
I love it. I mean, I've already been made fun of on Facebook for it. Like, I put my cheesy little post, like, I love Battlefront. And, like, people were, like, hating on me. And I was
They're like, oh, I'm sorry. You love Battlefront 2, I'm sorry.
But I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I'm bracing myself because I haven't done it yet, but I'm about to make a Facebook post about how much I liked the movie Solo,
Okay.
and it's gonna end with, "I love this movie, fight me,"
yeah.
because I know, like, because
So you did go see it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is what I was saying. Like, I don't know why I don't really get it. And this is my thing with Batman v Superman. You don't have to think that Batman v Superman is a good movie. You can rag on it all you want. But if you loved Civil War and you're ragging on that, I don't get the rationale.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people were ragging on Solo, this is an above par Star Wars film.
Yeah.
Even as a Star Wars film, it's an
Yes.
above par Star Wars film. What's your problem?
I will say, for the first time in my history of me being a huge Star Wars fan, it's the first Star Wars movie, even the super old ones, that I got bored in.
She got bored in Solo.
I don't know how, but
I thought it was a good movie, but I did get bored at one point.
for me, it was the first Star Wars movie that I've seen since I saw the originals, where I didn't leave the theater instantly with like a laundry list of things that I felt could have easily been done to make the movie better.
Yeah.
It was like, no, yeah.
The movie, yeah.
It was, that's
And-
the movie that, yeah.
The reason... Go ahead.
No good.
I was going to say the reason that I liked it, I mentioned this to you before, that I liked it more than Rogue One was because the beginning of Rogue One, the first 20 minutes or so, was so rushed and cobbled together that I didn't give a shit about
Yeah.
any of them fuckers, and I was supposed to. And Solo benefits from us already knowing who these people,
Yeah.
some of these people are, but so it was paced, and I was like, okay, I give a shit about these people. And actually someone mentioned that this is the first movie that Chewbacca isn't just Han Solo's dog, like he's a character.
I'm sorry,
And I was
Mark.
like, okay, I can see that.
I'm really young.
Sorry, we
if that
really
makes you
had to
feel
look
better.
at Mark.
Yeah.
If that makes you
Sarah
feel
and I
better,
are like,
young.
Super old.
Both Sarah and I are like, oh yeah, I guess that would kind of hurt you guys' feelings. But then I realized, I'm like, oh, there's a gap there.
There's
6
age
years
difference.
before I was born, so like
I'll
I'm not
say
super
we should
offended.
have a solo podcast where we can get in all of the details.
Yeah, we can go into details.
It's
What-
gonna have to be without me. I still haven't seen it.
That's okay.
No, you should see it. We should go.
I just still haven't seen it. And
What-
I finally saw Deadpool 2 though.
Yes.
Okay, so
we
did
should
you
have
like
a
Deadpool
Deadpool
too?
one too.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet.
I think because everybody was like, oh, it's so great, it's so great, it's so great. I got the hype. I got too much hype. And so when I got to the movie, I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of funny.
Like it's fine.
But, and posting credits, Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Texas says
I
she was born
squealed.
3 decades afterward. I don't know if
That's not true.
I don't know if that means like I don't know. I don't know how to take that.
It's a decade and a half.
I'm not that young, but also like
When was it?
Not 3.
1977?
My soul.
When was it?
Movies from 19... Joseph says
77?
the first Star Wars. Yeah, New Hope was 77.
I was
2
born
decades,
in
not 3.
1993.
Yeah, 2 decades, not 3. Both of us.
About a decade and a half.
So, what?
Closer to 15 years than 20.
No.
Because it's 16 years.
Oh, I guess you're right. So yeah, a decade
Okay.
and a half. Okay, sorry. I
Joseph-
round up.
You guys round in weird ways.
Yeah.
No, we round in our way. Okay.
Joe says movies from 1977 are super old, and I saw A New Hope first run in a drive-in theater before I got the glasses I needed.
That's
That's good.
amazing.
Lauren, what have you been playing?
That made me so happy.
I really haven't been playing like seriously. I've kind of just been screwing around on the console.
Yeah.
So I've really just been running around and collecting and crafting potions and shit I don't need on Monster Hunter.
You've been Monster Hunter and just
Not doing the monster
shit.
hunting. Yeah.
There is about to be for on PlayStationers as well, but Xbox is also. There's about to be a big E3 related sale on the 7th. So if you're watching this live, it's in 3 days. If you're watching this on Wednesday, it's tomorrow. Like if you're watching this on YouTube, it's tomorrow. And Monster Hunter Worlds is one of the ones that's going to be discounted. So just throwing that out there. There's going to be some other stuff. Also, the Xbox One X is going to be $449. So $450 4K gaming system is pretty good. The Xbox One S is being dropped to $199. So a traditional Xbox One is about
Isn't the
$200 now.
Reverse
not bad at all.
compatible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll play select 360 and original Xbox games as
Wow.
well. So.
You know what it doesn't play? Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, not Devil May Cry. Wait, was it?
Yeah. Which
DMC is the one that I was trying to play on the Xbox One, but because it's for the 360, is that it? Dang it.
DMC. So
What was it?
all Devil May Cries do play on Xbox One, but it may not be the backwards compatible version. They do have
Yeah, you have to buy the gaming.
the special edition that you can't play for.
Yeah.
But it may not play the discs.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is I own it. It's sitting on my shelf.
Yeah,
Just mocking me.
that may be true. that may be true. Did we? Okay, so we
Daniel
got
didn't.
to what have you been playing, Daniel?
I've been playing mostly Elite Dangerous and Fortnite.
Nice.
The Thargoids have invaded the bubble of humanity, so I am
In
Joining-
Fortnite?
yeah, obviously. And Elite Dangerous, so I'm
Right.
helping mount the defense of humanity against invading aliens, and I found out I'm really, really good at Fortnite up until the point where I see the first other living human being. Then I just instantly die.
That's amazing.
But like the, landing on the map, I'm great
Yep.
at, grabbing weapons, not falling off of things, staying inside the bubble.
Yeah.
Awesome at all of that. And then
Those are
I
good.
see another human being and I die.
Speaking of landing on maps, I am terrible at landing on the PUBG map. Like,
I've
I
never
can
played
never
PUBG. I don't know how bad
see
it is.
the little compass. So I think landing on a map is a
Is
great
actually
achievement.
if you
because I can't
land
even
where you
see-
aim at.
Like, no, literally. I like my little squad goes over there and I'm like, God damn it. And I see like, and I'm not even meaning to. And I'm like, what is happening?
We'll do a few drops. Like we'll just load up PUBG and just do a few drops and quit. Like drop and quit and drop and quit and just
Yeah.
like you get that down. We can totally do
I
that.
suck.
I like Fortnite a lot because it's free and it's fun. You goof around and it's silly and not too serious and everything. But the game has become so fast and pretty precise. I mean, PUBG is precise in its aiming as well, but Fortnite is so fast because there's jumping and building and people do the hops around when they're shooting and then it drives me fucking crazy and they're throwing up walls and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's an awful lot to take in now, and I started playing when it first came out and it's sped up since it first came out.
Yeah.
PUBG has remained about the same, where you can drop you have to hurry to do things, but all of your actions benefit you by being thoughtful and careful, as opposed to like crazy and precise, and fine-tuned precision.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Robotical
Well-
Nick.
Hey, Nick! None of these games sound like Dark Souls Remastered. You mean Dark Souls Recached, turd.
Okay, that wasn't good.
That was bad.
Anyway, so I've been playing. Dishonored 2
You know, that's the
on stream.
constant thing when one of them is on here, you immediately do a tank joke. Every single
a
time.
tank joke?
You just
Yes.
tank yourself.
You-
Like,
it's-
Oh, whenever I
just
see a red sixer, I just
Yes.
blow the floor out from under
Yeah,
myself.
you're like, this is the best joke ever, but every single time it is a joke that is so under par.
It's because I have to do well in front of them, so I try hard when I
Yeah.
see a red sixer.
I just think
And you
that-
trip.
Yeah, you just tank yourself. Maybe you should, I don't know.
Just in general.
No, just with red sixers. Like, you know, it's like the show's going really great, and then you just say something that we're all like, crickets.
Lies. Okay, so I've been playing Dishonored 2. It's super hard. It's a stealth game, but it's in first person. And a lot of times in first person games, it will allow you to mark people so you can sort of see them through walls. But the way to do that in Dishonored is you have to bring up your power and then use it, and it's only within a certain range.
Okay.
So it's very difficult. And once you see them, you can't keep points on them. There's no map and no radar. So I'm just having to be very good at being careful and leaning in and not leaning out for too long because they'll fucking see me. I'm playing on hard. So they're like down the street and they're like, the fuck is that? Like, you know, down there. So it's hard, but I've been doing it. And I've been playing Conker's Bad Fur Day on 64 and on Xbox.
Yeah,
and
I've watched some of that.
Play a level and then play the remake and then play a level and play the remake. And that's been very interesting. I like the compare contrast stream, and I may do something like that in the future with remakes or upreses. Conker's unusual in that it's largely similar with a new, like, finding the disparities is sort of like Easter egg hunting. Whereas some games when they're remade, it's like, don't even bother playing them side by side because they're just different.
Yeah.
There's two different games. Anyway. But
Calvin's like underappreciated.
Yeah, filthy casual.
Joseph said the second time ever he's heard the term filthy casual, and the first time was also today. So he's only heard the term twice, and neither of them were Calvin.
The only reason why I know
said
it
filthy casual?
is because
Mark did.
Oh.
Yeah, Mark. The only reason why
Oh.
I know it is because Calvin wears filthy casual stuff all the time
And
and
he
talks about it all the time.
right. Yeah, that's true.
If you even start
That's
to
his-
say
that's the
filthy
brand.
casual, he'll go into this whole
filthy casual is
spiel.
a brand.
Yeah.
It was a term used to disparage gamers,
Yeah.
like, and usually female gamers and mobile gamers as well. And then a clothing line created it as their brand, and so they have made sort of filthy casual like cool,
That is cool. I like
which
it.
is neat.
I
Yeah.
dig it.
Sorry.
I
just-
hate to agree with anything
like-
Calvin says.
It does, but like, yeah.
Sometimes he trips onto something.
Sometimes he trips over being a good guy.
Just trips.
And falls, like Steven.
And balls.
Right. Yeah.
They complete each other.
Okay, so we'll jump in now. I want to know, first of all, I'll just start by asking the question of the night, which is, what is the most important thing to you in a game? So if you're looking for a game or learning about a game or going to go buy a new game or something like that, is there something that, if it is on the box, either as a bullet point or something that someone describes the game as, or that means more to you than anything else? Joseph jumps in and says, I think the main thing a game must have is challenging content in a format you feel confident in mastering, which is a pretty broad concept, and can be applied to a lot of things. So if challenge isn't, where is challenge for you guys? Because we'll sort of take this step by step. Start thinking about what's important to you, but we have a jumping off point here. Challenge. If a game is like bills itself as challenging, does that incentivize you to want to try to get at it, or is it like, I don't want to fucking spend 40 hours like trying to play a game. I just want to play through the game.
So, a lot of my answers are going to come with the caveat of, except for Elite Dangerous.
Right, yeah.
Because, and that will make sense later on when we start giving our answers.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if somebody says, oh, this is a really challenging game, or hard, or difficult, or whatever, it immediately turns me off of it. I'm not good at games.
Okay.
And so I will just frustrate myself and never get to the story of the game, or the art of the game, or the point of the game. Unless the point of the game is to be difficult, in which case I'm not going to play it.
Right. Yeah, and sort of in a similar way, I was mentioning actually earlier, is that MMOs are hard for me to get into these days because I want to play a lot of games, and if I choose to play an MMO, it really needs to be the only game I play.
Yeah, I got you.
So if, like you're saying, if a game's super hard and it's taking a long time to get through it and you're not making progress, that would shut you off. So what about you girls? If a game bills itself as challenging, like...
For me, it's kind of like, okay, if it's challenging and there's a difficulty setting, then I'm going to try it on the easiest setting. If it's like a really good game and everybody's really into it, I'm going to go normal because that's my interpretation, that's my feel of it.
And we are actually going to have a discussion on difficulty in gaming in a few weeks. It was one of our Nerd Cred redemptions from Chai Teague, so
cool.
You know for that. But
so for me, it's like if a game is automatically set, like you guys have played it, like Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a great example for me because everybody's like, it's really difficult, but it's really interesting. For me, I can't get past the first 10 minutes.
It's tough but fair.
Yeah.
Is how it's so, and it's rewarding.
But if I can't get past the first
right,
15 minutes, like, fuck this game. Like, I'm kind of like Daniel. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a casual gamer. I want to have fun. I want to do stuff in the game. But if you can't let me have the first 10 minutes, like, I'm not interested in this game. I've never played it since.
I had a friend on Facebook once say that gaming is the only artistic medium that you have to be good at to experience it. You never go to a museum and they show you half of a painting and then want your interpretation of it to show you the rest of the painting.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be...
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting concept. What about you, Sarah? If a game, like, on the box, or if I handed you a game and I was like, this game is challenging.
It depends, like, what type of challenging. Like, I like challenging games, like, and I get competitive in games.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think for me, it really just depends. Like, I'm either, like, what they were saying, and if it's challenging, I just will be like, well, fuck this. Or if it's something that has really intrigued me, then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this shit. Like, and then I like it because for me, I haven't played through a whole lot of games, but, like, I did play through the entire game of Little Nightmares. And there was times that it was very challenging for me, which I know some people may not think that game's challenging, but for me, it was in some spots, and there was some days that I had to, like, take a break from that game, but I was so, like, intrigued with it that I just, like, kept going back to it and eventually got it. So I don't know if that really answered your question.
No, yeah.
That's how I feel
That's
about
good.
it.
You, sir?
So then, what is the... Oh, for me, in terms of challenging? Yeah. Now, yes, now. Before, no. But since Dark Souls, now I will start games on the hardest difficulty. Or not hardest, but I'll start on hard, for sure. If not higher than that. And then Joseph actually said he has a picture of himself flipping off Wolfenstein when he went to change the difficulty to the easiest setting.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And so yeah, for me, if a game is challenging or has consequence, like someone has explained to me that there's a consequence to, like, losing or death or something, it's part of the reason why I like PUBG and Fortnite. Mm-hmm. If I fuck this up, I'm going to have to get in a new match.
Yeah.
In Dark Souls, if I fuck this up, I could lose all of my experience and currency. It's the same thing. So when I'm playing something like Assassin's Creed, I'm like, oh, if I die, I'm going to respawn probably just a couple of minutes ago, so I'm just going to try some shit. Like, there's not a lot of thought that goes into it. So I do like a challenge. It has become very important to me, but I don't think it's the most important thing to me in a game. Has anybody figured out what the most important thing in a game is?
I have.
What you got?
Okay, so for me, I partially agree with Sam, but over the past week and a half or so, I really narrowed it down, and I'm half and half on these two things. For me, if a game is not personalizable...
A shitload of blood?
No. I love blood, don't get me wrong. But if it's not personalizable, you can't create your own character, you can't choose your sex, you can't do anything personalization-wise to your character. It has to have a bomb-ass story.
Okay.
Because, like,
and that's something that we'll talk about, is what you can sacrifice for other things as well will come into play here. But So the first thing that you look for, the most important thing to you, is the character customization. Very cool.
Yep.
Like, what game has great customization that you can think of that has been a lot to you?
Off the top of my head, it's going to be Monster Hunter.
Right.
Because you can collect all this crafting materials and stuff and then choose whatever you want. Now, granted, the more that you come into work with, the better your stats are and everything. So eventually you do end up sacrificing that personalization-wise, but it gives you the option to be male or female, gives you eyes, ears, mouth, all sorts of customization that way, and then palicos too. Like the things
Oh yeah,
that
you can customize your cat companion
individually, like spots, no spots, tail, no tail, clipped ears.
You can have a
regular
no-tail
ears.
palico?
That sounds awesome.
Oh, that's bitchin'.
It's like a pug nub.
Yeah. Mark says, in terms of the challenge, he's all about Meat Boy, which is super fucking hard, but you respawn instantly. You basically have a single map, and it's a platforming game, and so you're like, try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, try. Like, so it's just...
I gotcha.
You know.
So, for you and Sam, I guess, Trexus, I know Sam doesn't...
He walked through, and he was like, this is what's important.
Yeah.
And he's
So give this to him. If the most important thing for you guys is customizable
Are
characters...
you going to tell us Elite Dangerous?
No.
Okay. I was waiting for it.
I do think that everybody should play that. But Dreadlock Goddess and I recently... I totally forgot about this because we haven't gotten back on it yet. But we recently downloaded and started playing Star Trek Online.
Yeah.
And if you don't choose one of the pre-made Star Trek races, which even if you do, there's quite a bit of customization in it, you just pick alien, you literally can get down to the cheekbones and arm length of your character. Like skin color, alien type.
That's amazing.
That's kind of cool.
It is...
You can create it exactly like you want it.
Almost, yes. Like, I got overwhelmed with how many different options there were to create
awesome.
a character.
And some games will release their character creator as a separate app prior to the game release.
Yeah.
And I think that's smart because people like Sam will spend, a few gaming sessions, as in 4 to 7 hours, building just what the character looks like.
Yeah.
So that's stuff. How high on the rank is character customization for you guys?
Fairly low.
You can have a preset character in a game and be pretty happy.
Yes, so it's hard for me to answer the overall question because of things like character customization is really cool, and if you don't have it, then give me something else, and I'm fine. I don't miss it. I'm not like, man, this game would be like perfect if I could have my character be bald,
Right.
Like it just.
What?
Neat if it's there, but
What about you, Sarah? Character customization. You're a Sims player. So.
I really enjoy character customization. I play Sims.
Especially with The Sims.
Yeah, especially with The Sims, that's important. Well, then also, like, when I do, like, my stuff on Terra, I like to do that with my characters.
Terra is an MMO. It's kind of like WoW, but it's more action-y based. And it's on PC also, but it's on console.
Oh, cool.
Like it's a free
I've
one.
been having a blast with it but I also really liked World of Warcraft.
Did you spend a lot of time creating your character
Yeah.
in it? So if you see a character creator in a game, or rather, if you don't see a character creator in a game, is it something that you're like, I wish I could have
fun.
it?
I have fun creating the characters or being able to make them custom in some way.
Yeah.
Like even on my PUBG characters and like in shooting games, I always have a gas mask and I'm normally wearing a bra. Like that's my signature.
She looks like a.
So like.
She's like our mad dog. Like she's wearing like an open shirt or sometimes no shirt with a gas mask on and like pants and
Like
shoes.
I always wear boots. I always have
aesthetic.
shoes. Even if I'm completely naked on my character, I always have boots on.
Boots and a gas mask.
Boots and a gas mask.
Die Hard knows that you always have to have
Yeah,
shoes.
she's on.
Yeah, boots and a gas mask.
interesting.
So like I like being able to kind of have a little signature, like, I'm sure other people do that.
So
but,
boots and a gas mask?
yeah, that's it.
That's your signature.
Joseph says, I wish ESO had done that in the beginning with the character customization. In the beta period, he had settled on a few names, and he had to rush creation to get the name he wanted. before someone else took the name, so you
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
through. And I did that with PUBG when I first got PUBG. I just like, yeah, whatever, I'll get in and change it later. But in PUBG, you have to use the in-game currency, which you get by playing and winning, and if you're not winning, you're not getting very much.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, I just stuck with this character, basically. They came back later and allowed a second shot at the character creation screen with special tokens. But again, he had to not pay real money, but,
pay
in-game currency. Mark says, I think character customization is neat, but beyond the ability to play as different genders or races, it doesn't add a ton for him. I like it. If you're going to have character customization, I'd rather it be in-depth. Like, make it very in-depth, because if choosing male and female is great. I wish literally every game had that, unless your story is based around a specific type of character.
Yeah.
But if, aside from that, if it's like, you get to choose, I'm trying to think of, like, I think World of Warcraft is one where I hate the character customization. Final Fantasy 11 was one, because I choose my race, and I got like 4 faces to choose from. There's actually 8. No, there's not. It looks like 4 different faces, It's 4 different faces and like 3 different hairs.
Yeah.
So something like GTA Online is interesting because you don't create your character. You choose what your 2 parents look like, and that creates what you look like.
That's actually really cool.
And I think you can change little things like your hair color, and you can go in game to restyle your hair and do stuff like that. But everyone in GTA Online looks pretty different. If I'm playing an online game, I want to look different from everyone else.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And even if I have the same armors and stuff, I want to be able to change the colors of them at least, so that if all level 11 monks look the same, Final Fantasy 11, I want to be able to color it so that I know I'm me. I mean, I know I'm me, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So character customization, that's a good one. Anybody else? What's the most important thing to you in a game? Do you have one yet?
Mine was also story. But everybody's different from me because, of course, I love blood. I love dark shit, and I love, different things that, connect to my soul. Not everybody's like me. Everybody either wants a happy ending or they want the villain to win, so there's a sequel. And so, for me, it just needs to be interesting.
Good story is kind of super subjective.
Vague.
But having a story, having a campaign,
something that keeps you attached.
Yeah.
Like my big thing with The Last of Us, and I went over this. In the end, I felt like it was damaging to Joel's character bring up for us. Like everything you've learned, he's growing an attachment, yes, but he's always been true to his word. He's always been very clear, very open communication with Ellie. And then in the end, you get this, I'm saving your life, but he's not going to tell her afterwards. Like, he needs to be able to tell her, hey, I saved your life, but they were going to do this to you.
This sort of gets to one of the most important things for me, which is characterization. I think that's either the most or the second most important thing to me. Having a character, and this is something that even something like Overwatch, which is just an online battle game, but all of the characters have personality and backstory, and there's fan art of them, and there's a whole world that they've made. And so story is very important to me. But I think what you're talking about there is story, but also characterization is having a character that you get to know, that the game itself seems to give a shit about, and I would argue that it's hard to do that with character customization.
That makes sense.
Like with yourself?
If you have such a customizable character, it is hard to make that a set character in the world. Not impossible, but tough, right?
Mark says mechanics that fit the narrative, like braid. Is that what it says? The game mechanic is how the story works. The game mechanic.
That's a good point.
I guess in my head, it's like if you're, for most of the games that I play, if you're doing a character customization thing and it's your character, it's the one you're playing, they can still have mandatory characters that you're around that you are technically supposed to gain an attachment to, which is why I like The Last of Us, because as you're playing Joel, you gain the attachment for Ellie. Though it doesn't have a character customization, you do get to play as Ellie. And as Ellie, you get to see through her eyes how Joel acts and what he does, and then you gain that character loving part.
Jumping into chat here a little bit, Joseph actually says that it was real money that he had to pay to change what his character looked like. That sucks. And Trexus does not care about character customization at all in any way. The only reason she changed her Destiny character's armor is because you literally have to level up. You level up by putting on new armor, essentially. And in PUBG, you gain the in-game points, the BP, the butt privilege. It's actually battle points. It's just BP. It's BP, and you gain it by playing and winning, and you use that to get crates. And the crates have different cosmetic things in them. Jackets, different pants, a shirt that looks like it's been puked on, like a torn hat. Yeah. It really is a lot, 90% of it's crap. But she has like 40,000 BP or something, because she doesn't give a shit. Because it's all cosmetic and she doesn't care.
But I also think she enjoys that drives y'all insane. Like,
there's also that we constantly have her like, why don't you fucking buy some shit in PUBG?
Yeah, I think there's an aspect.
So, I will kind of agree with Trexus in there. I can't remember the specific game. No, actually it was Halo. When they're getting into all like the crazy things
in the multiplayer, and you could change what your like Spartan looked like, and the shoulder pads and different visors
and whatever. And, like you could always really tell the people that had been playing the game for a really long time, like, were really good at it, because they always had like all these crazy things and balloons that popped when they shot something in the head or whatever. And I always kept my guy stock for the most part, except for like maybe a minor thing here or there that, in my opinion, helped performance. Like, I did the blackout visor because it didn't reflect, and so if I'm kind of far away and somebody's just scanning, they don't see the shine off my visor.
Right.
Like, except for minor things like that, I kept myself pretty much stock so that people don't see me and be like, oh, retrieval, there's somebody who's good at the game.
Right.
You know?
So, what's the most important thing in a game for you then, Sarah?
I really don't know. Like, I know that was the whole point of this podcast, but I just...
She didn't
thanks for being here.
No, I don't know.
What's your favorite game? This is what did it for me.
I don't think I have a favorite game.
Really?
Like,
What's a game that you could continually play over and over and over? There's got to be something.
Probably like Terra, or...
Why?
I just really like the... creating the character. You can have different powers, then you go around and do missions, so it always feels like you have a purpose. Like, you know, or you can...
But conversely, you also play The Sims a whole lot.
Yeah, and there's not really a purpose to that.
You sort of keep
It's aimless.
Yeah.
You can really do whatever you want.
In The Sims, I like creating the houses. I like building, like, dream homes.
Yeah, she likes the interior part of the gameplay where she gets to not only choose her person, but she gets to choose her surrounding.
Yeah.
Like, when they go to school, and technically when they go to work, other than, like, home, bar, library, like, specialized things that you can go to, all you do is make sure they're contained at home.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like, it's not aimless, but it's fun.
So,
he needs your number again, Lauren.
Oh, okay. Well, no, just kidding.
Okay, also, this has happened once or twice to me before, where I'll have a friend who's like, oh, I got a new phone, I need your number again. It's like, I thought we lived in 2000.
Whenever I get a new phone, it all has everything.
I think
still needs...
it's kind of a generational thing, because, like, I save everything to my SIM card, but after I got this phone, the SIM card still didn't have numbers attached to it. So now I use Google. That does it online. But people are still stuck on the SIM card thing. They haven't had new phones as frequently as you or I may have.
I guess.
I almost never upgrade my phone. I keep mine forever. But I think what I've maybe been able to pinpoint from you is you... Not that you won't play like a story game or a game that ends, but I think that you really like having something that is ongoing. Like, you can sort of jump in and do stuff at your leisure. Yeah. And I can go on and do some stuff. Maybe the most important thing to you in a game is just a game that is perpetual.
Oh, Lord.
Like, always have something to do.
Sorry.
Like open-worldy type.
I wasn't meaning to laugh so hard, but Mark's got it down pat.
Okay, first of all, I can come on here and just participate. Second of all, fuck yeah, I'm sleeping with the host. Third of all...
No, actually, Sarah spent all afternoon like thinking about stuff and trying to like come up. She's
I
We
really
don't need to know. Whoa,
let me
trying
finish Sarah.
to
She's done her homework.
Guys,
She's done her
we
homework.
do not need to know about your sex life.
I don't talk about
We
myself.
don't need to know.
I'm
All right,
not
so
like some
yesterday.
people.
No, but I guarantee you, she's done her homework.
We get it. Sarah does her homework.
Yes.
Okay.
I must defend her though. Against the false accusations of Voldemort. Yeah.
I don't think Robotical Nick's still watching. You're okay. Don't make jokes.
What?
Don't make jokes.
Don't make jokes. Nick's not watching anymore. What about you, Daniel? Did you be able to pinpoint anything?
Yeah, well, so
The most important thing? Is your
What I
problem
come up with?
here that the things that you say are the most important thing to you in a game are all antithetical to your favorite game?
that is part of my problem.
Okay.
Is that Elite Dangerous has made me reevaluate what I look for in a game.
Yeah.
Or it could be that, because I was going to say, because for the longest time I would play a game as if I was watching a movie, which is why it was always on the easiest setting. It's just a really long movie. So story.
I think
Or
I know. I
character.
think I know
Yeah.
what's actually most important for you then. But you go first because I think I can tell you.
Okay. And so then when I got into Elite Dangerous, it could be that I am just putting the thing that I find most important in a game into the game, even though it doesn't really exist. There isn't really a specific story. There's an overarching story of humanity, but like you can choose to engage in that or not. And so I am creating, I guess they say this all the time, and it's real stupid and cheesy, but now I understand it. But like I am creating my own story. It's my own thing. So I think now the most important thing in the game is something. Like you have to give me something. Make it super pretty. Make it the best story ever. Give me a 1,000 things to do. Like if you give me a game that is the same as every other game, then like okay, I just don't really
You
care
can.
about it.
So you unique. You want the game to give you something unique.
Yeah.
I was going to say that I think that the most important thing for you might be immersion, and however that
Yes.
happens, be it a well-told story or being able to put yourself in the pilot seat or whatever, you want to shut off everything and be in the world.
Yes. Yeah. And that is exactly it. And I was trying to think earlier today. I was trying to think of the word immersion
Yeah,
and couldn't come up with it. So
yeah. I
Yeah.
think
So
that,
you
I
are
think
dead
we got
on.
it. Yes.
that's it.
I just wanted to hear that. Game Guy says gameplay. If it's not fun to play, why play? So, Game Guy with a fun game can scrap. He can do shitty sound, old graphics. I don't know, even glitches and stuff. Like, does he that kind of stuff not bother you, or do you mean like precise and tight and finely tuned gameplay? Like what in what way? Because there can be a game that's really fun, but like kind of glitchy and like you kind of have to deal with some shit.
Yeah.
The EDF, Earth Defense Force, is what it is. So it's like you're shooting waves of ants, giant car-sized ants in a city. But that's EDF. For me, I think the most important thing in a game, story is really high, and characterization's a little above that. But I think what I learned recently is co-op. I'll fucking play literally any game if I can do it with someone.
Yeah, except Elite Dangerous.
Even shitty games. Well,
Daniel. Oh my god.
almost any game, and I'm not even not gonna play Elite Dangerous. It's just that it was so desolate and repetitive when I played it that there was no hook for me to come back.
Yeah.
You know, if we sit down and play it together, that may very well be like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I was wanting to do. But I just like, okay, I'm gonna spend 40 minutes flying, go through a menu, and then 40 minutes flying again to do a thing. Take me a little while to get back, and I'll click on the menu again. You know, so it was, and to me, I was not immersed, and I totally get where the immersion comes from. It's very realistic in a sense.
Yes.
When you're piloting in Elite Dangerous, you have to, go through your motions. You have to check your coordinates. You have to map out your jumps. You have to make sure you have enough fuel. You have to go in and out of hyperspace, and then there's cruising speed, and then there's like fighting speed or whatever. So I get it, but I think co-op is the most important thing to me. If a game comes out, and so like Fallout 76 was announced, and it's going the bits and details we've been able to get from it sort of is that it's going to be online and survival-y, and that immediately makes me go, okay, cool. If Sarah or Sam or Whitney or JB or you are going to would be in on it, they're like, okay, like let's do that as a group or together, and almost anything, almost anything. So I would give up a lot for that. Mm-hmm. I would give up like Wildlands. I've been playing Overwatch for the past hour, by the way, and Arisa used her sphere and pulled me off the map, and I yelled, "She freaking sucked me off!" Wait, that doesn't sound good. Even I will even deal with sort of shitty glitchiness. GTA Online's infrastructure was not great, at least a couple years ago when we were trying to do heists. Mm-hmm. But I still loved it. It was my favorite online multiplayer game, I think. Wildlands, we had technical issues all the time when we played it. People like dropping and then things glitching and missions not working. But I still had a blast playing it. PUBG's a goddamn mess.
Yeah.
It's a fucking mess, but I love playing it. Like, we have like memories and stuff like that. So
part of one of my coworkers is a big PUBG guy, and he loves watching it be streamed, and he likes playing it, and he likes talking about it. And I don't know if this is intentional by the developers or not, but part of the reason why PUBG is so entertaining to play, hear about, and watch is because of all of the issues that it has. It's like Fortnite is less fun to watch because you're either good at the game or you're not, and you're watching something.
And it runs well, and it like yeah.
But like he'll tell me stories about like him driving across a PUBG map with 3 of his buddies in a little Jeep or something, and then the driver desyncs, and so the driver's nobody's driving anymore. So all of a sudden you're in there like who's driving?
The thing about PUBG is when someone disconnects, it just takes their character's still there, so they can reconnect and sort of put their soul back into that character. But when they leave, they're just dead, like either sitting there or it'll auto run. Mm-hmm. So we had Whitney disconnect once, and her character just sort of auto ran, and so we just sort of tried to keep an eye on her, like well, she's just gonna run.
Maybe her soul will come back eventually.
Right. And if you're in a car, I don't know if the car keeps driving.
It keeps going.
Yeah. So you're just like, and we can't kick him out, so we're just in for the ride, and if you jump out of a moving car, you're going to get seriously hurt. So you just sort of have to hold on tight.
I will say the co-op thing has been like a lot of fun. I haven't really done a whole lot of that in recent years, especially because I didn't even have an Xbox till last year. Mm-hmm. But I've definitely gotten a lot of enjoyment out of being. I get actively like looking forward to things like, oh, I'm gonna play with a bunch of people like on the online or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I will say a big thing for me is, as stupid as this sounds, and I know that I am the target for these franchises, but if you make anything about a thing that I like, I will like it because you made it. So like I enjoy
Star Wars?
Yeah, if it says
Star Wars on the package, you'll like the game.
I will enjoy playing it. If it's Superman, I'm the only human being alive who liked Superman Returns because it was a Superman movie. Yes, it was bad. Yes, I know. I love it.
You should try to find maybe an emulator or something, or find an old copy of Superman 64, which is regarded as one of the worst games ever made, to see if that holds up.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah.
Daniel, our bad movie review.
Right. So what's real quick, because we're going to do fan cam before we shut down, but what's the least important thing like to you? Is there something that you just like you don't, if a game has it, or is like co-op sound, graphics mean almost nothing.
If they're shitty, you don't want to play it.
Well, no, I don't care about it.
No, it's the least important.
It's the least important thing to me. So even if
but you just said if the game's like super beautiful, you'd play it.
Yes, if that's its thing. If the thing it offers me is that it's super beautiful, then I will play it and I will enjoy the art I am playing through.
Right.
But if you say that I have horrible graphics. I've got Nintendo quality graphics, but the storyline is awesome, or the characterization is awesome, or the immersion is amazing.
You'll be fine.
Then yeah, I'm fine. Like I could care less about the graphics.
Okay. I like Superman Returns, though Amy Adams was an odd choice for Lois.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be No, that was Superman
No,
Returns.
Amy Adams was Superman Returns, I think.
Shit.
You would know.
Dallas is telling me yes.
Superman Returns was Kate Bosworth?
Kate Bosworth is Superman Returns.
Really?
Amy Adams was Man of Steel.
Man of
Obviously,
Steel.
I haven't seen it,
Well,
or-
there we go. Ian's family was Man of Iron. Nope. Brandon Ruth, Superman Returns, right? Yeah.
Brain Roth, yeah.
Yeah. Roth, whatever.
Who was better as the Atom in the Arrowverse than Superman.
So to me, the least important thing I think is music, which is kind of maybe unusual.
Kind of.
But like I unless it's I think that games in general are bad at music.
Yeah.
So unless it stands out to me as amazing, which I really appreciate, for the most part, gaming music doesn't really do anything because I think it's mostly been negligible, with some rare exceptions. So I'll either just turn it off or turn it down or something like that. And more often than not, like even when we play Fortnite and they have like the lobby music, dun, 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 I'm like, knock that shit off.
Yeah, the dance music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me it'd be like side quests. I know that's really contrary to what.
No, I think, yeah.
I'd rather get just straight to the point than be like, oh, I need to do this, but
And
I
there's
don't
so
really
much
need
shit to do in this game.
Yeah, and it's too overpowering for me. I'd rather just stick with the story, go with the story, and if you do a side quest and it goes along with the story, like it's only one or two trail and then you're back with the story, then fine, but it really should just be straight to the point or I'm done.
I kind of agree.
That's
Like-
what I was gonna say actually.
If there's too
Yeah.
much extra shit to do in a game, you're like, I don't want to do all the extra shit. I just want to do
Yeah,
the
I just
thing of the
want to
game.
do my thing. Yeah.
Like on Fallout. Like, yeah, you could do the side
Amy
quest.
Adams is a good
but
actress. Hello, Malcor. How's it going?
You could do the side quest in like Fallout 4 and it wasn't a huge deal. It did level you up more,
Yeah.
but otherwise, like, you could still stick with the story. It wouldn't be a huge deal.
Yeah.
Like, I could live with him or without him.
There is, and I know, and there's something that sort of, it's not the most important thing to me, but I realize that it's super important. And I noticed it when we were playing Wildlands was like the physics of things. So if I drive a car into, or actually no, let me do it this way. If I shoot a helicopter down and it starts smoking and it starts going like this, when it hits the ground, I need there to be some decent physics and effect, because if it just goes kunk, 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 and it's smoking, I don't get any impact from a helicopter exploding. And a lot of times in Wildlands, we're like, oh, a helicopter's exploding, and just sort of, or whatever. And in GTA Online, every impact, if you fall out of a helicopter and hit the ground, like it looks like it fucking hurts. There's a big explosion and the camera shakes, stuff like that. So
That makes sense.
I guess my other thing would be, like, if a game didn't have the availability to kill. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but, like, if you're only maiming
you have
your
to end
characters...
something's life.
Yes! Make it worth my damn purpose in life. God!
Okay, Amy, they're talking about Superman. The last thing that we do before we call it a night is we go to the fan can. This is the Gutter Nerds podcast fan can. There are just random ass questions in here. You guys can add questions to it by tweeting us at Gutter Nerds using the hashtag fan can, or you can redeem your
Aren't they mostly Master Charles?
nerd cred. There's a lot of Master Charles in here, if I'm being honest. So I'm gonna let Lauren and Sarah both pick a question.
I was gonna let Daniel, since
Yeah,
he's not
go
usually
ahead.
here.
Fucking.
Yeah.
He did it last time he was here.
It's like
He did it last
the
time he was
current. It's like you picking
Yeah,
instead of
okay.
just me.
Sarah has deferred to you.
See,
Oh. Well,
I can do it again.
Lauren
Give
gets
me a
to.
can.
I'll let you read first.
Game Guy has a new puppy, by the way.
It's so cute.
I got a kitten.
Yeah.
I got a kitten.
Oh, I'm gonna see a picture. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've got
I got
some
a
wreckage.
kitten.
Kitten wreckage.
I got like a legit kitten.
What do we got, Daniel?
Can you not read it?
Yeah, well, I think I figured it out now. So, Jurassic Park Replace the dinosaurs with some other animal or object made animate.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Jurassic Park, but replace the dinosaurs with either an object made animate or some other animal.
Okay, guys, says flamingos.
Flamingos. That's good.
I'm gonna replace
to
them
Flamingo
with
Park.
porgs.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Porgs.
Porgs.
Welcome to Porg Park. Oh, Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god, I want to go there.
Oh, even though they're running amok?
Yeah, like I want to go.
What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Yeah.
They're gonna go at you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna eat
What
you.
an adorable rebellion's going on here.
Oh, let him go. Open paddock 9. Okay. Yeah.
Hold on, Joseph Nobles. Have you seen the birds? Have you? Because that's what you're asking for, sir.
That's terrifying.
Turtles.
Turtles?
I like
want
it.
turtles.
Turtles.
You could just step on them and get out of the park.
What's wrong with you?
They have super hard shells. You just use them as stepping stones.
Yeah, and
Let's
some are
use
real
you as a
big
stepping
and some are real
stone.
tiny.
Then you'll know how the turtles feel. I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Okay, I'm gonna go with
Both.
Oh, there you go.
I do not discriminate on either side.
turtles or tortoises. When I came in to step on turtles, they says, "How's it going, buddy?" Oh, by the way, Daniel says that your name should be Styx Gaming.
Yeah, it'd be better.
Okay, what's yours?
Oh God, that's such a good question. I'm going to say actors from the Star Wars universe.
What?
Actors. That's
Okay.
interesting. It's not the
Not the characters, but
Okay.
actors.
I feel
And they're all running amok. So it's like
Yeah, like Ewan McGregor.
Ian McGregor and like Daisy Ridley and like
Hold
Sam
it.
Jackson's yelling
Are
at
we
me
also
like
talking
Sam Jackson
about
Paddock
like
Wait,
now
Sam Jackson
Amelia
was in
Clark
Jurassic
and Donald Glover
Oh, shit, he
and
was.
those people?
Yeah, everyone's in the Star
Okay,
Wars
well,
universe. now.
I just want to let you know, if I were to play that game, I would stand next to Donald Glover and just pretend we're husband and wife, because that's all that
Yes.
game would be for me.
You and me both, sister.
Oh my god.
All right, next. You agree new cams list. Thank you. Calvin says writing is so much cleaner. Wonderful. It's working so much.
Super
How's
clear.
it going, buddy? Yeah. So what's our final fan can question tonight?
Have you ever lived out of Texas?
Have you ever
Yes.
lived out of Texas?
This, well, we did when we were like
Yeah.
Yep.
5 and 7.
Origin story. Stephen and Daniel were born in Northwest Missouri. We came to Texas when
That makes
at
sense.
about 6 and 4 ish.
I lived in New York for a
That makes
bit.
sense.
And you lived in New York for how long? It was a few months, right?
6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
We had this discussion though. if
Mark
it
cheered.
was,
Thanks, Matt.
He's the leader with 1 bit. Thanks, Mark.
Aw.
He's the leader. He's the week's leader so far.
I'm the wiener.
That's right. Yeah, you lived in New York for a while.
I did.
Shit. Since we moved to Texas, though, that's this game guy. Since we moved to Texas, we have not.
I've lived in a lot of places
In Texas. You've lived in Galveston and Granbury, Denton.
Denton.
But you've only lived in Texas since you moved here.
Since we
Yeah.
got here, yeah.
So I'm the weird one.
Wait, how long do you have to be a place? I think
To have lived there, we were
Yeah.
having that
You had this
conversation
conversation
once with
with
Calvin.
Calvin, right?
I was
It
about to say,
if you've been there a day, you lived there.
That's what I was saying.
'Cause,
Like,
I mean,
it-
can I claim Afghanistan?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yes, you have lived out of. Yeah, Dana lived in Afghanistan for a while. Dreadlock Goddess cheered 100.
Oh, yay.
Sis, thanks for the cheer. Caldane, thanks for the cheer. Caldane is our first 12-month, 1 year. So I'm gotta
Don't say a bad joke for the love of all that is
Please.
holy.
to try to impress Caldane.
Yes. You've already done it with Robotical Nick twice.
Caldane,
Let's not do
thanks for
it
the cheer.
for Caldane.
Cam guy, thanks for the cheer. And Mark, thanks for the cheer. And Dreadlock Goddess, thanks for the cheer. Instantly one up, son of a bitch. Say-ho! Thank you for the cheer. Okay, yeah, our
Oh, look.
we're lagged by the. There's our our sub. Guys, I want to shout out Caldane here. You guys need to go to Red6 to goldencorral.com. Let me spell it right. Thank you, Caldane, for being our first year-long sub.
Woo!
Wow.
Our first year, for 1 full year, he has subscribed. and Colleen and Dreadlock Goddess battle
Are
back
they
and
bidding
forth.
war now?
So I really appreciate that. Your stream is lagging its balls off, says Game Guy. Yes, it is. There's so many notifications. It's just, ooh. That's Lauren.
I'm never wearing shorts again.
Yeah.
Keep it cool, Malcor. Keep it cool. So okay, are we done lagging now? I'm trying to watch.
I'm
to see
like so embarrassed. I'm like,
Do a movement. It's a
Yay.
little bit, but
There's a little bit of movement. Okay, and Kaldane, cheers again. Thank you, Kaldane. You guys have been absolutely awesome tonight. We want to know if you guys didn't get a chance. If you're a sub, you can tell us in Discord. If not, then hit us up on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitter. Let us know what the most important thing to you in a game is. Above all else, what the most important thing is. And we definitely want to hear from you. Oh, Lauren, did you ever live out of Texas?
Mm-mm.
Always been Texas.
I'm born and raised.
Okay.
That's awesome.
There we go.
I like Texas, so.
By the one-day standard, I've lived in Sydney, South Africa,
Humble
Luxembourg,
brag.
Paris,
I
France.
mean,
awesome.
truly, if we're going through days that, like Calvin.
We're going through our
Oh, my.
vacations.
Our vacation.
Yeah.
And I've lived in Hawaii
I
and
have-
all sorts
Yeah.
of
Vacation,
stuff.
I've
and
been
have
to
also spent
England,
the
I've been
night
to-
in many places on my way
like-
to other places. So,
Right, yeah.
Sure, I guess I've lived all over the frickin'
No, we're
place.
not. We don't live by Calvin rules here. We live by logic.
Born, raised, and probably staying in Texas the rest of my life.
Okay.
Unless I miraculously
Good call.
come into money. No. Do you know what the weather's like here?
Yeah, it
True.
sucks.
It does suck.
That is the thing that sucks. That's true.
That's
I don't want
the
to
thing
glisten to go to my car and back.
Guys, next week it's all E3. So there's no podcast next Monday night. But Monday is the 12-hour long day. All
wanna
day
see
long
me
E3.
cry.
So like right now, we'll probably be wrapping up the Sony press conference and talking about this time next week. But our next stream is going to be Wednesday night. It is going to be our last PUBG night for a little while, just for a little while. We're going to move on to some other stuff, but it's going to be sub appreciation night. So if you're a subscriber and you want to join our squad, you must be a subscriber, but you may join our Xbox squad and play PUBG with us.
Xbox.
And yeah. So that's what's coming up.
Cool.
And we have our E3 coverage posted on our social media and all over the place. And we're going to do pretty much every press conference, and you're going to see pretty much everybody at some point. Basic training was in Carolina.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
Because boot camp's 6 weeks.
Well, he was Army, so it's different than Air Force. But it was 8 weeks for the Air Force. I believe it's 12 for the Army.
So, I mean,
For sure,
that's
yeah.
2 months worth of
Yeah.
living.
That's living.
At least.
That's living. I'm hesitating because I feel like there's something else that I'm forgetting. I don't think there is, so I guess we'll just call it. My name is Steven.
Sarah.
Lauren.
Daniel.
And we will see you guys next time.